The story begins on a school bus where Amber Wyatt is sketching in her notebook. Her classmate, Bowman Lynch, bothers her and snatches the notebook away. Upon finding a disturbing drawing of a creature slicing him in half, Bowman flees in terror. Later, Amber meets with the school counselor, Dr. Land, who also speaks with her father, Taylor, about the unsettling artwork. In a private session, Dr. Land asks Amber if the boy in her drawing is someone real. Amber confirms it is Bowman. The conversation reveals that Amber uses her art to process the grief of losing her mother, Allie. Dr. Land gives her a new sketchbook, affirming that drawing is a healthy way for her to heal. In a subsequent scene, Amber's younger brother, Jack, is walking in the woods. He trips, dropping his phone into a pond and scraping his hand. After wading in to retrieve the device, he finds not only that the cut on his hand has completely vanished, but the broken phone is now fully functional. Bewildered, he looks around, but finds the woods empty. That evening at dinner, Jack irritates Amber, causing her to drop a plate of pizza. As their father, Taylor, cleans the shattered pieces, Jack insists he can fix the plate, just as he did with his phone. Taylor dismisses this as impossible, and a frustrated Jack retreats to his room. Meanwhile, Taylor is collaborating with his sister, Liz, a real estate agent, to sell their family home. The following day, as the children head to school, Amber realizes she left her sketchbook behind. She urgently calls her father, making him promise not to look inside it, and he agrees just as the bus drives away. Later, Liz arrives to help Taylor prepare the house for a showing, reminding him to clear the walls and tidy up. While gathering Amber's belongings from her room, Taylor places the sketchbook in his car, but then accidentally spills coffee on it. He rushes inside to dry it with a hairdryer, but the notebook slips from his grasp. The pages flutter open near a fan, forcing Taylor to see the entirety of Amber's bizarre and monstrous drawings. His disturbed demeanor during the house showing unnerves the potential buyers, much to Liz's exasperation. When Amber returns home and learns her father saw the contents of her sketchbook, she becomes upset. After a tense conversation, she begins to explain the creatures she has created. She describes the Blood Eater, a blue being that consumes blood and vomits it onto people; the Taddler, a massive blind orange monster; the Stabodons, birds with sharp beaks that love to stab; and the Enorse, which steal people's possessions. She also reveals Evil Amber, a creature designed specifically to attack Bowman. However, not all her creations are sinister. She has also drawn benevolent beings, such as small, heart-shaped creatures that perform good deeds, and a butterfly inspired by her mother's tattoo, though Amber jokes it looks more like a butt. That night, Jack sneaks out to the pond carrying a box containing their mother's ashes, hoping its mysterious power can bring her back. Amber sees him leave and follows, attempting to stop him. During their struggle, her sketchbook falls into the water. Jack fishes it out with a stick, and when Amber checks it, they discover most of the drawings have mysteriously vanished from the pages.
Suddenly, bubbles rise and the pond's surface begins to boil. A loud, terrifying roar echoes through the woods, sending them running back to the house in fear. The next morning, Taylor finds Amber is not in her bed and discovers her sleeping in the closet. She explains that she hid there after hearing a tapping sound on her window. Investigating the window, Taylor finds strange yellow stains on the glass. As the kids get ready for school, Jack tells his father about the miraculous healing of his hand and phone in the woods, but Taylor doesn't believe him. On the school bus, Jack is riding with Bowman and their classmates, DeMarcus and Carson, when the bus suddenly stops upon discovering an overturned car. The driver, Miss Thompson, calls for help, but then a massive blue smear slides across the road in front of them, forming into a towering, googly-eyed, two-limbed blue monster that vomits glitter, the very creature from Amber's drawings. The monster gives chase, and a panicked Miss Thompson accelerates to escape, but she loses control. The bus crashes into the overturned car and veers into a cornfield, knocking her unconscious. Jack checks on her while the other children hide. Amber identifies the creature as Dave, explaining it awakens to loud noises and can only be put back to sleep by calming music. DeMarcus plays a jazzy tune from his phone, which successfully lulls the monster to sleep. In a panic, Bowman abandons the group and runs off. The remaining children quietly sneak off the bus, but as they escape, the song ends and switches to a loud rock track, instantly reawakening Dave and sending the kids fleeing through the cornfield. Meanwhile, at home, Taylor notices strange occurrences, such as a previously broken plate having repaired itself. He receives a call from the school, but the line is abruptly cut off. While Liz is showing the house to buyers, Taylor goes to find his phone and discovers Amber hiding in a closet.
The creature attacks him, but he manages to stop it. Liz then enters to inform him that his children never arrived at school. In the woods, Bowman is confronted by the giant orange Taddler, accompanied by a siren-like sunflower monster. Just as the Taddler is about to eat him, Amber and Jack arrive to rescue him. The group manages to defeat the smaller monster by throwing it into the water, where it dissolves, and then they escape the larger beast, racing back to the Wyatt house to devise a plan to fight the monsters. Taylor and Liz join the police search for the children. Along the way, they encounter a strange cat with tentacles, identical to the drawing on Amber's sketchbook cover. When Liz tries to touch it, the cat attacks, flipping their car before darting into the woods. Forced to continue on foot, they witness a flock of stabodons attacking electrical towers and quickly run for cover. Back at the house, the kids gather supplies, planning to use the materials that created the monsters against them, such as using water on chalk creatures and fire on crayon-based ones. Before they can leave, a swarm of apiars attacks the house. Armed with water guns, a shower head, and a garden hose, the children defeat the chalk monsters. When Taylor and Liz arrive home, they find only the aftermath of the battle, with the children gone. After a quiet, heartfelt conversation, they hear a tapping at the window and see a yellow butterfly, the same one Amber drew in memory of Allie. The children, meanwhile, are navigating the woods where tensions erupt. Bowman confronts Amber about the drawing of him being cut in half, blaming her for endangering his life. Amber then argues with Jack, accusing him of trying to resurrect their mother by throwing her ashes into the pond, leading to a raw clash about their different ways of handling grief. Their fight is interrupted by the appearance of evil Amber, who has been using Sharpies to draw new monsters and tossing them into the pond to bring them to life. Jack instructs Amber to draw them some weapons. As she retrieves her backpack to do so, the monster version of her attacks. Jack intervenes with a makeshift flamethrower, halting the creature. A battle ensues against evil Amber's creations, and Taylor and Liz arrive to join the fight. Jack wields his flamethrower while Amber draws tentacles on her arms, using the pond's power to animate them. Just as evil Amber is about to strike her creator, Bowman blasts her into ink. Emboldened by his actions, Bowman awkwardly asks Amber to be his girlfriend, but she immediately turns him down. With evil Amber defeated, the children release Amber's benevolent monster drawings, which proceed to wipe away the remaining evil creatures. Taylor finally reunites with his children and sees Jack heading toward the pond. He gently tells his son that he understands his intentions, but reminds him that they must confront their grief together, rather than trying to escape it. Jack then notices that the ashes have already spilled out through a hole in the box. Taylor pulls him into a hug, and Amber joins them, the three finally sharing their pain as a family. Sometime later, life has returned to normal for the Wyatt family as they begin to move forward. On the way to school, an apiars crawls from behind a tree, but before it can cause any trouble, one of Amber's heart-shaped creatures appears and devours it. The movie concludes on this note. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.